Hi learners, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to see the part 1 of the inverse function. So now let us see first the rules of it, what is here, how to find the inverse of a function. Now say what you have to see here, that you have to make sure f is a one-to-one function. This is the first point. And then you have to rewrite f of x as y. And then you have to interchange the x and the y's. And you have to solve for y, and then you have to rewrite the y as f inverse of x. These are the points to be remembered, and when we do the actual problem, that will be more clear. So just remember these 5 points first. So now, what is the definition of the inverse function? So now let f and g be two functions such that f of g of x is x for every x in the domain of g, and g of f of x is x for every x in the domain of f. So now under these conditions, what happened? The function g is the inverse function of the function f, and the function g is denoted by f inverse. This is inverse of it. So we write here f of f inverse x is x, and f of f inverse f of x is x. So the domain of f must be equal to the range of f inverse, and the range of f must be equal to the domain of f inverse. So now let us see. Here it is given that show that the functions are inverse functions of each other. So f of x is 2x cubed minus 1, and g of x is cube root of x plus 1 divided by 2. So now let us start with, suppose we are taking here, in place of this x, we take g of x. So what will happen here? So now it is given f of g of x is what? We'll write f. In place of this g of x, we are going to write this value. So hope you got this. In place of this one, we are going to write this value. So now what will be that f of g of x means? Now we will put, this is actually x. So now in this equation, we are going to replace this x by g of x. So here also, now see, this is the function. So here wherever you see x, you are going to replace by this value, because this is f of x. So now here, look at here, f of g of x is, this is 2. In place of this x cube, we are going to write here this value, and we are going to write the cube root of this. So can you see here? And this, of course, this minus 1 is here minus 1. So this part is clear to you. So now what will you do here? This will, you write as it is. Now you will remove the square root sign. So now this will be as it is. So when you remove the square root sign, this is the cube root. So that will be 1 by 3. And this is going to be as it is, and minus 1. So now this is as it is. So now you can see this 3 and this 3 gets cancelled. So here that will be x plus 1 by 2 minus 1, this whole thing the same. So now what will this again, now this is multiplication. So this 2 and 2 is going to get cancelled. What remains is x plus 1, and this is minus 1. So now plus 1 minus 1 gets cancelled, and you get x. So this was for f of g of x. Now let us see for g of f of x. So g of f of x means we are going to put this f of x value. So what will be that? G of, what is the f of x value? That is 2x cubed minus 1. So this is 2x cubed minus 1 in place of this one. So now what will you do? This will be same. So now what is that? Cube root of. So now see here, we are going to concentrate on this one, because we are going to put the, so wherever you see x, you are going to put this. So you will write cube root of. So this is cube root of, and then you are going to write this value over here. So that is going to be 2x cubed minus 1, and what is this here? This is plus 1. So in place of x, you are going to write this value, and that is 2x cubed minus 1, and this plus 1 the same, and it is divided by 2. So this is divided by 2. Again watch this step again, and then what will happen? This minus 1 plus 1 gets cancelled. So what will be here? Remaining is 2x cubed by 2, and this is cube root of 2x cubed by 2. So now what will you do here? This 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So now you will remove this root sign. So that will be x cubed, what is here, and this will be 1 by 3 will go here. So now this 3 and 3 because 3 into 1 by 3. So this is going to be, so the value is x. So hope you got this one. So did we get this, both the values? Both the values are x. So that they said, show that the functions are inverse functions of each other. Now let us see the next one. If f of x is 2, x cubed, 2 by x minus 3, and g of x is 2 by x plus 3. So we have to say is g is f inverse. So now let us start with this part. So if we take here, in place of this x, if we replace this by g of x, so what are you going to get here in this one? Wherever you see x, you are going to replace by, because g of x is 2 by x plus 3. So now let us take this function, this as it is. In place of x, we are going to replace this by 2 by x plus 3, that is 2 by x plus 3, and this minus 3 as it is. Hope this is clear. So now what will happen here? Plus 3 and minus 3 will get cancelled. 2 is as it is in the denominator, that is 2 by x. So this numerator denominator means this is going to get flip over. So 2 into x by 2. So 2 into x by 2. So this 2 gets cancelled. So this is x. So f of g of x is x. So now what we can say here? What did they say? What is g is equal to? Is g is equal to f inverse? They are asking for that. So we can say since the equals, we can say that since the compression equals, we can say. So then the functions are inverses. So now here, in the next one, if f of x is 2x square and g of x is root of 2x, so is g is equal to f inverse? We have to see that. So we have to start with f of g inverse. In this place, we are going to put g of x, we are going to put g of x. And then wherever you see now, see here, this 2 is going to be as it is. And wherever you see x, you are going to put your g of x value. What is that? Root 2x. So now look at here, in place of x square, you are going to put root 2x, but then we are going to square for this one. So now what will happen here? This 2 is going to be as it is. So when you square this one, so what is that going to be? It is going to be, this also is going to get square, 2x square, that is going to be, this is going to be 4x square. So root of 4x square. So now what will you do when you square this one, because this 4 also is a perfect square and x also, so that the root sign will go off, that will be 2 of x. 2x, that is, and this 2 is going to be as it is. So this is what? That is 4x. So now what we can say, since the compression does not equal x, so then the functions are not inverses. So they have asked whether it is inverse, so they are not inverses. So the next one, this is find the inverse of f of x is 3 by x plus 1 minus 2. So now look, and let us say the same thing is written over here. So now they have just asked for the inverse. So what will you do here? Wherever there is y, we are going to put here x, and wherever x, we are going to put y. So because we want the inverse of it. So in place of this, we wrote x, and this is as it is. Here will be y plus 1 minus 2. So now what will you do? This minus 2 means you are going to take it on this side, so that will be x plus 2. This is the same, this whole part the same. So now what we can do, we can cross multiply. So x plus 2 into y plus 1, that is 3. So now we want in terms of y. So this, let us take this term on one side. So that is already on the left hand side. This is already on the left hand side, but this is multiplication. So this term, this whole thing, not one term, but this whole thing, there are two terms in it, that is going to go in the denominator. So now what we can see, we just want y. So what are you going to write here? Y is, this thing is here, and here plus 1, if it goes on the other side, that is going to be minus 1. So now this y is this. So what is y? Y is nothing but that is f of x. So this will be f of x. So we will write here f of x is this one. So hope that is clear, but that is what they have asked. Find the inverse of that one. So this is what we, according to that, I have shown you the first 5 points. So always the last part, after getting this y, you are going to write here f of x to bring it. So this will be the final answer. So here we have completed today's work. So please do like and subscribe to my channel so you get the notification of the other parts. And the other part, most probably we'll be doing it in the next class, that is tomorrow's class. So do watch that. That will be also for the inverse. So thank you.